Hello, hello! Hello everybody, welcome on back. Ooh, wait for it, wait for it. There we go. Hey, how's it going everybody? Happy Saturday! Welcome back. Oh my gosh, that kind of hurt a little bit. Hold up, let me adjust music volume a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. Welcome on back to the stream, everybody. Happy Saturday. It has been a few weeks. I am booting up the game. Give me just a second. Ooh, actually, I'm on the wrong side. I need to be on this side. Yeah, welcome back. Well, we're loading up the game. We're booting up. I need to put the correct screen up here. It is this one. There we go. There's the video game. Welcome back. Hope everybody's had a great couple weeks off. I did. I had fun the last couple weekends being out and about. It was nice. It was a grand old time. But now we're back. And, we're ready to play some games, but... Ow. We're not gonna go super long. Actually, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me take this down for a second. I gotta move some things around behind the scenes because I forgot which side Ace Attorney pops up on. There we go. Now that's there, and then now I go over there, and now I put this back. Bam! There we go. All right, all cleaned up. Now I can see everything just fine. We're not gonna go super long. I just had oral surgery on Thursday, so there's some stitches in the side of my mouth because they had to cut into my face. And it hurts to like talk a lot for a long period of time. So we're not gonna go super duper long. Maybe just like an hour or two. So just one section. However long that takes, we'll just do one section. And then we'll resume next week. We'll pick it up from next week. But yeah, because it hurts to talk for a long time. But we're gonna do what we can. I didn't want to delay any longer. I've missed our adventures in the legal world. Our misadventures, even, because we've been now accused of murder twice in a row. Great start for our new attorney. But Ryunosuke Naruhodo, the ancestor of Phoenix, right? So, well, we'll see what we do. Hey, 21 Snakes, how's it going? Welcome on back. I hope you had a great couple weeks. I'm ready. I hope you are too. Alright, let's do this. Select adventure, we're going... Do we want to use continue or select? Hold on, continue? Yeah, that one. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. I'm doing well. I just had oral surgery though, so like the side of my mouth hurts and I can't talk for like a super long time. So we're just gonna do one section today and then we'll do the rest next week.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
So we are in London, I think.
And the perpetrator were the only ones inside. There were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once
Herlock Sholmes.
I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together.
Are we getting accused of murder again? I hope not. This has already been twice. Yunosuke needs himself a little break. Get some practice defending someone other than himself.
Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
You know, I've been to London. Some of the train stations do still look like that. It's pretty neat. Well, not like this, but like the inside with the platforms and everything. And I was like, cool. They're huge.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
I want to ride a horse carriage.
The Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
That looks fun. I want to go on one.
And welcome to the centre of the world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
I wonder if there's anywhere where you can still get in a horse-drawn carriage. That'd be super fun. The 18th of February. Hey, that's like a few weeks ago. That's a month ago. 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. Looks like a fortress. It is interesting that they have a lot of clockwork stuff in the background. Like, we're just in a clock tower. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in a few short decades since we've opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. Yeah, we're literally inside of a clock tower. It's weird. It's cool, but it's weird. What is this place again? This is Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice? We had instructions to report here at the time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Oof. Alright, my best friend's died. My best friend is dead. It's very sad. Yeah. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So, we'd have to return to Japan. If you want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Yeah, he had like, what, 6 weeks on the boat to study or something like that? Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here. To have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Ha, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh! I don't know if I like this guy. He looks a little... might bit evil, just a little bit. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Huh. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh! No, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. I don't know if that's a good thing to say, Yunosuke, to leave a good impression on somebody that, you know, you like, you're a hard worker and, you know, you enjoy doing stuff. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. And I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yes, thank you. Ooh, let's look around.
This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk.
I believe it's made of marble. That is a nice desk if it's made of marble. I would really love a kitchen counter made of marble because then I could do chocolate work on it and make all kinds of really fancy candies. Looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me.
I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here.
I know, that's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure.
What else can we look at? The clock? Is this some kind of clock?
Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. But those gears are larger than anything you'd find on a steam locomotive even.
It's eerie. You think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? The Lord Chief Justice, I mean.
Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they?
I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size, and I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. There's actually something quite soothing about their precise rhythm. Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling.
And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream.
Yeah, a very bad dream. You know, it's just because you don't like reading.
They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland.
What about Russia?
Why do you ask?
I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think?
I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned.
We're still feeling the impacts of that last case, aren't we, Naruhodo? Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room.
I believe they're suits of armor.
Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding shrine gates.
No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know.
I didn't know that was like an actual thing. I know it's a thing in video games, but why would you keep something that can easily be possessed by evil spirits?
And they roam around in the middle of the night.
Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Miss Sasato?
This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask.
She's well prepared. Where did she get that incredible tome? I feel like it's probably her journal and she scribbles in it. Like anything that she finds of interest. From anywhere. That would be my guess. Ooh, we can look around more? Oh. Except there's nothing here to look at. Okay. Look to the left. Nothing else? Okay. I'm sure that'll come in handy eventually, just not right this second. Alright. You want to look at my badge? I mean, my armband. An armband I inherited from Cosmo. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. We don't have a badge. This is the closest thing we got, but we gotta show it to everybody. Lord Strongheart, may I show you this? To accept this item, issue a receipt, examine it thoroughly, and make a formal statement of my findings. It requires something in the region of 24 seconds of my time. Sorry? Does the item warrant 24 seconds of my time, Mr. Naruhodo? Let's leave it for now. Okay. Let's talk about London. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, help! I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city!
It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh?
We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words.
I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water, and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
Oh, yes! Astounded is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor.
Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we will be hosting here in London.
Great Exhibition?
Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. Oh, even if you do say so yourself, is what he said. The sun will never set on our great empire. I have a feeling you're a bad guy. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors in the land of the rising sun. Okay. So hi, I'm a law student. Hello. Lord Chief Justice. I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Sogi, if my memory serves. Yeah, he kind of died on the way over. It was a weird series of unfortunate events. That's right. British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. Yeah, it was awkward. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are a people of protocol and courtesy. I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, I would if I could, like, get my nerves together. This is it then, the moment of truth. Continuing the study tour, please recognize me as a lawyer. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Hi, me smuggled aboard the ship. Actually, I'm also apparently studying law. Ha 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 ha. Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least that's what I've been led to understand. Yeah, well, I was kind of in his luggage. Sorry. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? If there's someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... Actually, there's no one. It's Miss Sato. It's me! Have some confidence, man. It's me. I can do it. Is that so?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer? Hey, I defended myself twice now. I have qualifications. I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And then also defended myself during an investigation. I think that counts. That's sort of 1.5 times. And I had Cosmo to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Buria. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short of a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Cosmo, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set to me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please! 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo, was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in a good stead which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? While I'm all for entertainment. Huh? Let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes. That's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test me! So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today?
Straight away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations? It's in your blood, and it gets passed down to Phoenix, so that's totally okay.
Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
I almost said Lord Stroganoff, and that would have been awkward. Yes, good question. Ah, I remember. It's a murder trial. Of course, it's always murder. Somebody always has to die.
A murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, that the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
But can't do that, can you?
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. Look, when you actually defend people, it's pretty much gonna be like that, so, you know, get used to it. If I lose, I'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi? I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. Trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? Yep, we'll do it. I'm in! Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... Can't do it, I can't get the words out. Come on! Girl Spine, are you doing okay? Oh my god. 15 seconds. Decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but what could I do?
It's all right. I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. Yeah, it's his life hanging in the balance. That is a little fucked up, actually. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court, day after day. But for each one of those clients, a particular day they stand at the dock, may be the only chance they have to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. Oops, hold up. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. You will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful! But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? Why? So why couldn't this man get another lawyer? Explain. So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh!
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
He's gone.
Huh. The Old Bailey.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
Let's talk to her. Mrs. Sato, can I ask you something?
Careful. From this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant.
I know.
Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will.
You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom.
You need to ask me anything and had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey.
Alright, fine. What if I present you the armband? Mrs. Sato, can I just ask you something? Nope, alright, same thing. She's like, I ain't having none of your shit, we gotta go right now. Alright, let's go. The Old Bailey, London's... Oh, wait, hold on, let's read this. The Office of Lord Chief Justice Strongheart in Britain's great capital city, London. Its grand stone architecture and the echoey tick of the vast cogwheels lend it an air of authority. It's oppressive air, it really is quite stifling. And London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. If we hurry and catch a cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time. Let's go. 18th of February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Okay. One quick second. I'm gonna BRB like just a minute. I need to like... Side of my mouth's hurting a lot, so I need to like put something on it really quick. So I'll be right back. Alright. Sorry, I'm back. I gotta be careful. Okay.
Thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins.
I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you.
What's a guinea?
It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege.
Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started.
Yeah, I suppose there's that. Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all.
Yeah, that's a little odd. So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced. Feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed.
Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at the moment.
Top of the morning to you, madam! Sir? Hello? What are you doing following me here? Things are very desperate, are they? I'm sorry? Oh, would you look at those expressionless faces? From the East, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do you need? No, we're just here because I'm so confused right now. Are you my defendant? No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now.
A 1,000 guineas?
Please, Mrs. Sato, you don't have to shout.
But 1,000 guineas is... It's enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo.
What? That's a lot of money, dudes.
There's nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see.
Are you a fucking leprechaun?
I have enough wealth to buy the city of London or two or three times over.
Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye! Rude!
Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me.
If it was to offend you, I'm already gonna do that. Oh?
Be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock.
So you're the defendant?
So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now.
Oh, well, the thing is...
Don't worry about the thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all.
So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but Does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
Bluster and blazes! Do you not know who I am? Me, one of London's biggest names? Look, we just got here. I don't know shit about shit. Nope, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see.
I see. Suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London's another beautiful park.
Sorry, a park? What?
It's called McGilded Park. Full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London?
Yo, Hyde Park is huge and beautiful.
City of Smiles, that's my vision for London. There is nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its quiet old people.
That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary.
Ah, but now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you?
Alright, don't pass out.
Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best.
What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yeah, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. I'm offering to actually represent you and be your real lawyer.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
Sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? 'Cause he did it! That's the only explanation. Well?
Well... Oh! That's not what I was thinking. I mean, I did think about it earlier, but that's not what I was thinking right now. Maybe just people think you're hard to work with. I don't know. Not at all, although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why wouldn't you... Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean? Why don't you have a lawyer?
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
I'm sorry, what? Sorry, did he just say Reaper? Have all the lawyers you tried to hire died?
Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Bardock Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor.
Oh, is this one of those dudes who never loses and all the lawyers are afraid of him? I got you, man.
The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned.
What? Yo, we're real good at taking down these types of prosecutors. Sign me up. I'm here for you, man.
So it's reached a desperate situation, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness, Lord Bardock Van Zeeks. You must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor, then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Is he a cheater? Cursed? What on earth? Defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. His counsel?
Hey, that's me! Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But... Hold on, I don't know anything about the case yet. I don't know anything about the case. Yeah, see, same wavelength. Me, you, Ryunosuke, like, I need some details? You had told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry. I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? I've done it before, though. So, you know. And then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? There's no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case. Or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruhodo.
The man is no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. Alright, let's go. Be right there. What's happening then? My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm gonna manage this. '18th of February, 10 o'clock a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. That's a whole panel of people. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Hold on, let's save. G. Save. Yeah, we're gonna save here. Okay. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan.
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, what? We're very tense right now.
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
Look, I'm a little nervous, okay? It's my first time being a real lawyer.
I know, but I just can't help it.
Fucking Dracula is our prosecutor. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Who the hell is this Dracula-ass looking dude? Alright, let's think about this. Yep, he's a vampire. Do we do the really bad Dracula voice, like the really bad one? No, I don't think we do. We should respect him a little bit, right? Definitely looks like a vampire, though. The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Okay, my dude, why do you look like a vampire? Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. You speak English? Yeah. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. No, cravat too! Are you related to Edgeworth at all? Those eyes please me, Nipponese. I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult or not. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes. Now, Mr. McGilded.
Yes, my lord.
Stand accused of murder, a capital offense. Could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Rude? Racism.
As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella's a student from some little island off to the far east. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud.
Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman Oh, shit. Did you hear he donated £5,000 to the government the other day?
Mother, please, may we go and play in Mr. McGilded Park?
Yeah, that undertone appears a few times, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, I figured it would. It's the old days. It happens. I'm not gonna, like, get in a hissy fit about it. I mean, that's just history. That's just the way it was. They're going for accuracy here, and that's fine. What a fine gentleman London has in him. I know some people would get very upset about it, but I'm like, I get it. It's fine. No need to worry about it. I'm totally chill with it. I get it.
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. Surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. They're all just, I guess, that afraid of Vampire Man. Which, in fairness, back in the old days, very intimidating. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public— Why is he flipping a knife? That's very suspicious. I don't like it. Why is this dude my juror? Who let him in here? That's an old lady, looks like she's knitting, and everyone else is just kind of chill. Is that a flask? Are you drunk? Sir, are you allowed to be drunk while you're on jury? Do we not have rules against this kind of thing? Everyone else looks pretty normal. Drunk, knitter, definitely a murderer. Alright. That you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. For your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. Yep, drunk. Too busy typing and a drunk. I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. Mr. Naruhodo, those people are...
Jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors.
I don't know how I feel about this crew.
The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from two completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks?
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware?
I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So, the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. Summary of the case, if you please. Oh gosh, yes please, I need that. What the hell happened?
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason.
Sorry? Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust in the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
Here is the autopsy report from the investigation.
Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. Autopsy report added. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner. It gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Crime scene photo. A photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partly obscured from the view by an old crooked hat.
And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
And these are? Good lord! Is that blood, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What?
Mr. McGilda's gloves had blood on them?
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
Defendant's leather gloves. The leather gloves of the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There's a bloodstain on the right glove.
How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time.
Only 2?
Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded.
Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course I have no recollection of such a thing.
Mr. McGilded.
To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep? Some people sleep in cars and carriages, it's fine.
It is the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton, so it is, and when I opened my eyes again, was a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life.
Hmm.
Now what I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? Wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
So the blood got under the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses. The precise moment at which the brickmaster was fatally stabbed. How? We were in a carriage! How? How? Order! 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 What a weird way to shout order. When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime. How? We were in the carriage! This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. You have some kind of like relationship to the brickmaster, that's why you're like kind of pissed and out of retirement and throwing all these accusations at Mr. McGilded. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses, first of all. Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Bro, what? Witnesses, your names and occupations.
Beppo. Oh, my name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Why are you shivering so? Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city.
My name's First. Lady First. I, make hats for gents.
Ladies first. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too.
Unambiguous testimony, I must say. I don't know about that one. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. Did they, though? I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel? Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? Exactly! I don't get it! What the fuck? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. Am I missing something? How quaint. I read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. You're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Yeah, I am. What the fuck is an omnibus? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend. Have you even traveled in an omnibus? No, what is it? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What? Do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which the bloody crime took place is here today. This very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? How big is this courtroom? Bailiff. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Oh, okay, so it's just the double... It's like the 2-floor bus that they have now, but like, you know, in carriage form. So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests. Oh, there's a window. There's a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. What a weird thing to do. Ah, skylight. Oh! That's how they were able to see if they were up there. Well, then only one of them would have seen, unless he was, like, turned around looking down, because that's kind of funky, but okay. Penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats of the on the omnibus when the murder took place. And that is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense. Well, counsel, this is a first. All my years behind the bench, I've never expected the crime scene itself to being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. Sure, that is the prosecution's wish. Sure. Very well, I see no reason why not. The omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. It's been entered! The 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside the carriage and on the roof deck that night. Can't believe it, the entire crime scene entered as evidence? Ow. Ooh, that hurts.
Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary.
I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Let us continue with the proceedings, then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Okay, hold on. Let me get some... I want to look at this omnibus. Let's look at our evidence. Examine. Job Masters, London head office.
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
The scene of a murder. It's horrible. The seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really.
Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here.
A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? Yes. Why didn't that check anything off? Yeah. It's weird that it didn't check anything. Can I open this? This seat has a handle, it seems. There's a bunch of stuff inside. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running.
Heating tubes, tools to repair the wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems.
There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure.
Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway.
Okay. Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition.
Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
Interesting. There's the skylight. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it?
Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck.
And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin, at least. Yeah, you can see pretty well. Is this the same? Yep, same thing. Okay. Oh, that's blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's, obviously.
Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Would you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight?
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Interesting.
Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then.
Okay. I look around the rest of this. Phoenix, right? Omnibus? What? Excuse you? Can I look at the roof? No? Okay. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Well, nothing will come of grumbling now.
No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was toying with the coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed.
I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
True. An Ace Attorney reference in an Ace Attorney game? I know! What a concept! It's so amazing. mean, that's definitely a dagger in his chest. Alright, well. Name, thrice-fired mason, male, age 54, occupation brickmaker, time and cause of death, 15th of February, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife whilst journeying in an omnibus. Died to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of defense, aren't they?
Yes, that's right. Scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law. And they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom with an impartial mind.
But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think.
Very impartial, I'm sure.
Okay. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. Hey, rude! Alright. First cross-examination in a British court. Can't do that right now, that would hurt me so bad. Focus, Ryunosuke, focus! I dig the swords. Each side was on a different colored sword. That was really neat. What the witnesses saw. Let's press everything. Last bus of the evening, so we only had a few customers. Press. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, it was ever so cold. It was, sir, freezing, in fact. You can look around at everybody else. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. No, traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course. No. Alright, buddy. And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one alighted, for example? You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no. No one. So nobody fled the scene of the crime, then? I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does, every evening, that last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile, yes. Sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see? Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Ooh, that's unfortunate. They were sat next to each other inside the bus. Okay.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Hold up! That looks very different. That's not what our buddy looks like. Ooh, Susato Mikotoba, 16, judicial assistant sent to Britain on a study tour. She's the epitome of a refined Japanese lady, and a huge help to me always. Male Strongheart, the Lord Chief Justice, who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers, is a thoroughly intimidating man. Magnus McGilded, the defendant in this case, he's an incredibly wealthy philanthropist and with a wonderful reputation in London. I'm to defend him as a test of my worthiness to become a lawyer. Age 48, 52. Baron Van Zeeks, 32, a prosecutor known as the Reaper the Bailey. Supposedly the souls of those he prosecutes are eternally damned one way or another. Thrice-fired Mason, the victim, skilled but poor brickmaker who lived in the East End. The driver of the omnibus on which the murder took place, he's an eyewitness to the incident. A gentleman who works as a city banker, he witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck. Bruce Fairplay, Lady First, an apprentice milliner, who witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck of the omnibus. Were you guys both sitting next to each other upstairs? And by the way, weren't they sat from across each other, we said? Oh, next to each other, sat next to each other, okay. But that's definitely not Mr. McGilded. That is way too plain of a suit. Mr. McGilded wears bright purple. That's kind of fishy. Also, these are clearly white gloves, not brown gloves. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. Gilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. Rude? Couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Yo, not all short people look the same. Don't be rude. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. Okay, but what if a short person hid inside of the storage compartment? There's no room for doubt here. I really wish there was. The Bluey just stabs a man. Isn't that weird?
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Our fair, dinkin', hard-working city banker is not considered trustworthy these days. Oh, no. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail, if that's... My lord! Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something. Or another that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. This dude is totally not impartial. Who picked him? Rude? Do a better job vetting your jurors. Come on. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. So rude, come on. What the fuck? There's no point in wasting time listening to more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Hey, hold it! Hold on. This is precisely what I was about to say. Hey! As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. They're throwing fire! Stop! Ah! What the? What is happening here?
Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean...
Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. I hate this. This is a nightmare.
He stabbed him. I screamed. I couldn't help it. Okay, but were you two sitting next to each other, or were you on the front side?
Hold it!
Arrest this man. You stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absentmindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly! That huge, great knife!
Oh!
Hey, Neoneko coming in with the party 3. Hello, welcome on in, Raiders. How are you doing? How's your stream? You guys are doing Genshin Impact? How was it? Hi, y'all. I'm Sparkling Parfait. I'm a variety streamer, and today, Saturday, is the day when we do our Ace Attorney games. We're playing through the whole series, and we are currently on the first game in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles in Case 3, with our new fledgling lawyer, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And it's our first time representing someone that's not ourselves. What a concept. That's interesting. Yeah, I hope you guys went well. More side stories. You finished all of one of a character who was released a long time ago, and he finally got some time in the spotlight. Yeah, I know. We're not defending ourselves. Isn't that weird? We're defending this little leprechaun of a man, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And they're all like, yeah, it was definitely him in the coach, even though it's like, dude, the coach, in the coach you were seeing someone wearing like black and white, and this dude's clearly wearing a bright purple suit, but... And your only other reason why you think it was him is because the dude was short, and I'm like, that's fucking rude, man. Anyway. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're not gonna go super long because my mouth hurts and I can't talk that long, so... We'll probably just go a little bit longer. But yeah. Enjoy your time. Hope you guys stick around. Hope you guys having a good weekend and all that. Okay, anyway, where were we? It was sticking right out of from his belly! That huge, great knife!
A grim sight indeed.
That didn't help me at all!
The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before.
It appears to have made everyone even more dubious than Mr. McGilded is telling... That Mr. McGilded is telling the truth.
Meaning they're doubting him.
If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Vampire man. Mr. First.
Oh, yes, sir?
Is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it! The very one, sir!
Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly, like a stake through the heart. Funny coming from you, vampire man! That is the blade of a considerable size, counsel. It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please, no. M, for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. Hey! The victim's name is also Mason, in fairness, so you know. Maybe they took it from him. Maybe they took it off the victim. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake. Are you also prejudiced against the rich?
Objection!
That was such a little baby objection. Oh my god. But there are M's everywhere! Yeah! Like in Mason! That's pretty much what I said.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. Oh, that's fair. No. This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. Can we just, like, ask Mr. McGilded if that is his knife? A murder weapon has been entered. A largish knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornaments suggest it must be quite valuable.
My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Ah, juror number 2. Go on. Oh shit, this can't be good. Alright, hold on. We're gonna look at the knife. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Sorry.
That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades, even though we're wearing Kazuma's katana on us, and we have it in our possession, on our person.
Oh.
Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. Exactly! That's not a blade, that's Kazuma's soul! That's cute. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Yep, that's indeed covered in blood. That's a little sus. Can't find anything on. Oh, hold on. There we go. Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood.
It surely is blood. The victim's.
Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Do you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand.
M. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial.
And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Ah.
What is it?
Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything! Probably not.
A W?
Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. Oh, do you know, Ske? You try so hard.
I'm afraid I don't know at all, but what I'm sure of is that this is an M.
Oh, well, that idea was quickly quashed. Or like, maybe... Nah. Alright.
Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However...
No, don't do it!
Those of us in service know when we must accept hard truths.
Wait! What are you about to do? No!
Dispose of the rubbish.
F. No!
I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion.
No! Stop it! Crap. Not again!
That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left.
We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse!
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
Suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... Alright. Keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witness's statements again. As soon as he heard the scream, he stopped the bus, and then he saw it too.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor, he was. And by the passenger, obviously referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. And the other passenger that had a knife in his hand like this. By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. And then he plunged it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly. You can't have seen him do that at the same time that the other two saw it. What? My lord, I wish to speak. Yes, juror number 5, do I take it that you too? Okay, let's read it first. As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, who is drinking, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. Horses bolted, as they say. No, please, just keep an open mind a little longer. Yep, now, Silverblaze, the finish is in sight. Y'all are terrible people. Beppo's a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. You 5 people suck. Well, come on, Granny, please. Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. The Gilded Park, it's called. The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
Bless you!
He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books?
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? You people not know. What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? Slander! Lies! What kind of a man is he? Philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What?
Stone the crows!
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? Well, if he's a kind and if he's, you know, a philanthropist, then maybe he's just trying to use public services to get money circulating, but, you know, also, that's a pretty good point. You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name save considerable financial liability. Will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Oh, shit. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house, and not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
I might add something briefly.
Mrs. Sato?
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
Blood Red One! You are the most vampirist of vampires we've ever seen in this game. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Aha! There it is! Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice! How can this be considered acceptable? Why are people drinking in this court? Including juror number 5. But I find myself in an unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. A marvelous toast, Counsel! I will gladly accept this new evidence. Debtor's ledger, a catalog of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas. Ooh, lots of money. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. The accused made him quite certain he had ample recompense. Alright, hold on, let's take a look. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear. Really think we ought to look inside.
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder...
I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside.
He's a fan. Well, let's see what we find.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Ah, goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay? Does that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. That's one of the witnesses.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh yeah, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? Look, the repayment date is fast approaching. He's trying to get rid of this man so he doesn't have to pay his debt.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
Among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce Fairplay, who would have been due to repay his loan imminently. Is there anything else in here for me to look at? Nope, same. Oops. Not everyone in this country is well. Alright, well, okay, we got something out of that. Don't do it!
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel!
No! That's not fair!
Still... maybe it's all for the best.
Well, wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before...
I don't stand for nonsense.
We're screwed! That was it. The last juror's decision.
According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. Over then.
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
Footnote.
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. No, I object! Mrs. Sato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes?
You were in the middle of saying something before. A footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
A summation? Examination?
Objection!
Summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give an antiquated procedure a mention. The relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
What even is it, Mrs. Sato? A so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment and I'll read about it.
You demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Huh. Typical Nipponese. Racist!
Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
Do what, exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions? Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. That procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct.
We're still allowed to do it, you jerk!
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Let me do it! Summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Assert our right! We're desperate, grasping at straws. That is the Ace Attorney way. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right! I believe it could prove vital in this trial. Defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Woman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Eh? Oh, well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... What letter? All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? Must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Oh, well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
Hey, I think it's a fair question to ask because some of them are probably being biased and just being like, screw this man, I don't give a shit. Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. Turn this trial around. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of the most serious crime. Judicial findings! The jurors' contendants. Alright, actually, hold on, we're gonna save. I said we would only go for 1 to 2 hours, and we're at just about 2 hours, so new mechanic, I know, very exciting, but it's gonna have to wait till next time because I can already feel my stitches getting very irritated. We're gonna stop for now, and then we're gonna pick it up from this new exciting part next time. So yeah, let us, whoop, hold on. Let me go over here. Thanks y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. It is great to be back. It was great to do more of this. I had fun being out of town, but it's also super fun to get back into Ace Attorney. I enjoy it a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. That's gonna be it for Ace Attorney for this week, but we will be back next week with more. And depending on what my SC does, we might still do something else after a break. There might be like another like late night stream for EO tonight. I don't know. We'll see if they want to do it or not. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Ace Attorney, so I don't have to keep talking and irritating my stitches. So next week I should be much more healed, so we can keep going for our normal time, I hope. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks to all the chatters, lurkers, VoD watchers, everyone who stopped by. Thanks to Neo and Echo for the raid. I appreciate it all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody!